What's going on, everybody? We're back for another great review, so stick around. This is something I have been dying to get into for a long time. I decided to take the plunge and spend the money because this is not cheap. If you look down right here, right there. Come on, autofocus. Ah, stupid camera. Nomad 1G, medium-sized cook camping stove. That's right, I got a wood stove, stainless steel construction for hot tent camping. And this is exactly how it showed up at my doorstep. So I'm going to go ahead and open this box and get it out. I haven't even opened it yet. I'm really excited. I'll bring you back once I got it out. Or you know what? To heck with that. We'll just do it. We'll just do it like we're unwrapping a present. Ah. Okay. My order information. Okay. That's in another box inside. Get that out of there. Alright, let's readjust so we can get a good look here at the box. Alright, it's the WINNERWELL Nomad 1G medium. I chose this camping stove over a lot of other designs out there. I mean, I really, really did a lot of reading and a lot of watching of other reviewers' videos. So, I'm just giving you a look at the box. It's got a UPC right there. 89.6 inches tall when fully set up, and 15 inches long, and 7.9 or 8 inches wide, and that is 2,275 millimeters tall, or 380 millimeters long, and 200 millimeters wide. All right, let's get this open, shall we? Alright. Oh, I'm excited. Like a kid opening a Christmas present. Alright, lots of packing foam in here. I appreciate that. Oh, we got instructions right on top. So we will have to take a look at those instructions here in a minute. I just want to get the stove out. Alright. I'm going to keep that box for storage when it's not in use. But look at this. Look at that. Glass is already in it. You got a piece of foam in there to keep all the stove pipes from rattling. That's pretty sweet. Alright. So let me deploy the legs. Alright. I would say if you get one of these, watch out. I feel some sharp edges right there. Might have to take a file to that and break those sharp edges, because the last thing I would want to do is get cut setting this up outdoors someplace. Oh man, look at that. Alright, I have to pull the camera back, and we have to change the angle here to get everything in camera. Holy smokes. And push this back. Alright. Wow. Adjusting the lighting here because I'm getting some glare. But look at this. This is nice. Holy smokes, this is nice. Now, I am getting into, I want to try some hot tent camping this year. And I needed a stove. I didn't really want to try to make one, although I could make one. Wow, that's thick. That is actually thick. Holy smokes. So this is what I purchased. This particular model is $350. They are not cheap. 304 grade stainless steel. The top surface here is really thick, and that's what I was looking for. In fact, let's see if we get the specs here in the book or in the instructions. Oh my god, they got a lot of danger, warning, danger. Well, yeah, danger. It's a stove. You'll burn yourself if you're not careful. Holy smokes. Okay. Let me bring you back here in a second when I got all the specs, because I don't want to mess this up. I'm glad I looked up because I misspoke. I think I said 308 stainless steel. It's not. It's 304 stainless steel. You get one stove body, 5 sections of 2.5-inch diameter chimney pipe, 1 spark arrestor, and the ash scraper multi-tool. Its dimensions are 15 inches by 8 inches by 8 inches packed, or 15 inches by 20 by 90 inches assembled with a stovepipe. It's an 800 cubic inch firebox, and weighs about 20 pounds. So let's, wow, the construction of this is really, really nice, and this stainless steel is not thin. That's what I wanted. I wanted quality. I didn't want junk. And this is definitely quality. Wow. So there is the dampener closed. You got one position and a second position, or you could open it full blast for air. That's pretty cool. Well, let's get some of these pieces out and take a look. This must be the dampener. If I can get it out. Oh, there's another piece of foam in there. Oh wow. So there's the dampener, and it's got tie outs on it. So that's at the very top of your chimney. Water cover, all stainless. That's very nice. Wow. Okay. There is that. Oh, here's a piece of stovepipe and another piece of foam in there. And here is our ash scraper multi-tool. It's got this little cutout here, and that's so when the stove is running and this is hot, you can go ahead and use that to remove this plate. And you can cook directly over an open flame. You can also use this to open and close anything, you know, with it, so you don't burn yourself. It's a nice little tool. That's pretty cool. Each section of this stovepipe is roughly 14 inches. Very cool. And we get all 5 sections. There's a stainless steel grate to go inside. It's to that in a minute, once we get all these pieces of stovepipe out. And the last piece of stovepipe has your internal dampener. Whoops. Let me get in the camera here. See, look at that. So between this dampener and the dampener on the door, you control your airflow and you control your burn rate. Here is the grate, and there's a little shelf on each side here that this grate sets right on. And as your stuff burns, you get your ash down here. Very cool. You can come in here with your ash guy and scrape your ash right out. So you'd have to have like a metal container or something. You'd have to have a metal container or something to set here, that when you pull your ash out, that you wouldn't get it all over your floor. That is cool. I am really impressed by the quality. Even the welds up here don't look too bad. And you got these racks on the side. These are warming racks. These two clips here and here are for an accessory that, I'll be honest, until I had the stove in hand right now and looked at it, I didn't know if I was going to buy any of the accessories. Now I'm seriously considering buying some of the accessories. There's an accessory that when you have the stovepipe and everything on here, whoops, like this, okay, so you would have, I'm sorry, I'm out of camera. Alright. So you'd have your stovepipe here. There's an accessory, it's kind of a square-shaped stainless steel container, and it wraps around the stovepipe, and you have a spigot here, and you fill it with water. So you can have hot water on demand on a spigot, and when you get the water boiling and you just want to keep it warm, you can fold up this side here. It's got a handle, and you would pull it off here and then hang it on these hooks. Then you can throw this back over and you'd have your spigot toward the front or the back. I can't remember which way it goes. But wow, I think it's cool that I didn't have to put the glass in. That's really nice. There's a, that probably right there allows you to take, yep. If you were to take this guy out right here, you can probably slide the glass out. There's a, looks like there's a, it's holding a piece in here on the side. So the glass would come out to replace the glass. Now they make another, WINNERWELL makes two different models of this size stove, the medium. I got this one, the basic, for $350. They make another one that has a big glass window right here. That one's $100 more, and I opted not to go with that, simply because one glass in the front I'm willing to accept, but a huge glass on the side, I could see myself accidentally breaking that out in the field. No thank you. But this, with the glass in front, oh yeah. Okay, I think I've rambled long enough. We need to get this outside and do its first burn. But before we go outside, I thought I'd give you a look at the instructions. So this is the cover page. And you can go ahead and pause and look at anything like that to your heart's desire. And this is the Nomad 1G medium that I got right here. And this is a drawing of the view with the side window. And then they got several other models. Okay, let's go to the second page. Now this has all the dangers and warnings. All good advice. I sat down for a second and I kind of read through this. And it makes pretty good sense. if you're going to be doing this. Okay, the next page. All right. If you hear anything in the background, the cat's got a hold of one of the pieces of foam that was in there, and they're knocking it all over the floor. I wish I was as easily amused as they are sometimes, let me tell you. Okay, next page. And then it goes into, I'm not sure which language this is. I'm assuming that's German, I think. Warnung Barbecuen, yeah, I think that's German. I don't speak any German, unfortunately, which is kind of sad considering on my mom's side she was half German. I mean, I know a few phrases and that's it. So, not a big German speaker. Even though this area where I live had a lot of German and Irish people settling it. In fact, my mom was half German, half Irish. And I am a survivor of the school of the wooden spoon, let me tell you. And the belt, and the razor strop, and yeah. Okay, and there's one more language in here. Oh, one more page for the, I believe it's the German or Dutch. Okay, and I'm assuming this is Japanese. It looks like kanji. I could be wrong, but we're going to go ahead and show it, and somebody right now is messaging me on my tablet, but that can wait. Okay, second page. And of course the cat is running around the house right now. And the last page, which is the back cover of the included instruction book. Okay. Now, unfortunately, this stove is made in China, like a lot of things, but I have to give them props. The quality is there. So, let me pack up all the stovepipe and everything back inside of it. Oh, and one thing I wanted to point out, this grate also acts as a carrying handle. Alright, let me get this packed up, grab a few things, and we're going to go out back and build a fire in it and do its first burnout. We're out here on my little back patio near my wood pile, and we're going to start setting this up. These stovepipes, they go together real easy. I mean, doesn't get much easier than that. Okay. Tool. Alright. I'm going to reposition and show you just how tall this is. Side view, and there's how high the stovepipe is. It goes higher than the ceiling of the back end of my shop. So pretty impressive. Got the plate here moved. As you can see, I got a nice little pile of shavings from my fat wood. Got my ferro rod, so let's see if we can get this started. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh yeah, that fat wood's burning like crazy. So, this is our first burn, and the whole point of doing this outside is to burn off any of the oils or anything like that left over from manufacturing. And any smells or anything is going to be outside. It's not going to be in our tent. So, let me go ahead and close this door, open the flue. Actually, I'll leave the door open. We're gonna step back here. I want this camera out of the smoke. And make sure that's open. Okay. Oh, yeah. It is burning. Almost no smoke once it gets going. Pretty cool. Got a tiny bit of warping right here because the lid heated up, I think, quicker than the body, and it's just enough that I can remove it, but when I put it back in there, it's giving me a hard time. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, it spoke too soon. I guess I had to wait for the body to warm up. I was having a hard time turning it. And this stain right here, I touched it with my glove. Don't do that. It's hot. So I can detect an odor. It smells a little bit like an oil, and that's not from my glove. I smelt that when we started, when it really got going, and that's the burnout, which is the whole point of doing this outside, first time. And very cool. And I can feel the heat coming off this little guy. Whew. Well, I found out what's stinking so bad. I started smelling something smelling really bad. That warning label, the paint is burning, and it stinks bad. You can see how it's all discolored. Let me move this grate. See it? So their warning label pretty much sucks, and this is another reason why you do your first burn outside, not in a tent. So I'm just gonna let this go, burn all that nastiness off, and then once it cools down, I'll pack her up. But one last thing I wanted to show you some more here. We got a nice little fire going in there. I got the air supply here completely closed, and look how it's burning very, very well. So there's enough air leakage around the glass and around the door here that it'll keep it going. I got the flue. I got this flue all the way open, so looking really good. Looking really good. Now the only other thing is I want to show you is here at the base of the, right where the chimney attaches, we got 366 degrees and or 186 Celsius. I went all the way up that pipe, all the way to the very top, and it gradually comes down in temperature. And at the very top, up where you would attach your lines, right at the junction, it's measuring about 83 degrees Fahrenheit or 28 degrees Celsius. So this pipe cools down quite a bit by the time it reaches the top. Okay, it's a few minutes after I showed you that warning label was starting to burn. Now look at it. It looks like a burnt potato chip. It's all black. Most of the smell is gone. So I'm going to burn up the last of that little split wood right there and let this cool down. I noticed the side of the stove here, it's got like a little warp starting right here and on the other side. Not a big deal. I'm sure when it cools down that it'll be just fine. It's not leaking any smoke. You can see here it's not leaking any smoke around that cooking area, and where I touched it with my glove here has almost burned clean. How cool is that? But I'm still going to probably gently clean that outside up a little bit with some Barkeeper's Friend. But got a merry little fire going on in there. Oh man. And I'm several feet, almost a full meter away from this, and I can feel the heat coming off it just outside here. In a tent, this thing's gonna rock. It's gonna be really great. I'm really happy so far. So one other thing I wanted to point out, once you got a good bed of coals in there like I do now, it seems like as soon as you put a piece of dry wood in there, it catches fire pretty fast. Check this out. Look at that. It's already on fire. I am loving this. Oh, I'm getting a little sooty. And close that. Yeah, I'm loving this little stove. Well, I have a little over an hour of daylight left, and I put the last piece of firewood in there. It's burning very merrily. So I'm going to let this go down to coals and then down to nothing, and I'm going to put it away. One thing I wanted to show you is the color of that stovepipe. It's kind of got like an oil rubbed bronze look to it now. How cool is that? So the stainless steel is getting a little bit of a patina burnt into it. All except for this top. This top is still pretty hot. I mean, this area right here, right on the lid, is still coming in almost 400 degrees Fahrenheit, 372 or 189 Celsius right there. So you can definitely, no doubt about it, you can cook on this bad boy. I mean, I use a piece of firewood to kind of take off some of the soot on the inside of the glass when I had the door open. So I'm gonna let that go down to coals and then nothing, and let it completely burn down. There's no more nasty smell. The warning, the little metal warning guy that was painted over there is all burnt off. I'll show you that here in a second. Very, very pleased with this little stove, and I know it being stainless, this thing's gonna last a long time. Now if my tent that's coming is half as good as this stove, oh, I'm gonna be really happy. So one last look at that warning label and get right in there, and it has burnt up like a potato chip. You saw it when it was painted before. That's what it looks like after burning the stove here for a while. Pretty cool. So all the wood is burnt down to coals. The grate inside here has not warped at all, which is really impressive. And it's definitely hot in there. Ooh. In fact, it's blinking, which means it's going over what it can read. Yep. It's so hot in there, it can't read it. That's as close as I can get. Oops. 694 degrees Fahrenheit or 368 Celsius. So that's pretty cool. The door, you can see it's suited up, but not too badly. So pretty cool. Pretty cool little stove. One thing to note is underneath here, it is warm. I'm getting a lot of radiant heat from the bottom. Now, 123 degrees Celsius or 253 degrees Fahrenheit. That's the bottom of the stove. The tiles here, these concrete tiles it's sitting on, are reading 121 degrees Fahrenheit or 49 degrees Celsius. So, if you had this in a tent that had a floor, you're going to need some kind of a heat shield. I can think of a couple different things that would make a good heat shield. In fact, I'm going to have to definitely Mayog up some accessories for this little stove. I am so impressed. The other cool thing is, with a bed of coals in it like it has now, I could take that cooking area off and put a pot there, and it's going to get the direct heat, you know, with almost no soot, which is awesome. So overall, I'm pretty impressed by this little stove. WINNERWELL made a winner in my book. This stove's awesome. So, wow. Once these coals get all burnt down to nothing, I get it empty, I'll get it back in the house and we'll clean it up a little bit and I'll give you my final thoughts. Alright, sun has went down. We just got some coals in there and ash. I'm going to go ahead and clean it out so this thing can cool off so I can take it back in. I'm going to show you this little tool. I'm trying not to be in the way too doing this, so hopefully I don't make a big mess of it. Oh, look at that. See? I was able to pull the grate out. Go set that there in the concrete to cool. And I got an old pan here from an old smoker I used to have. So we're going to use that to put the ash and coals in. There's still a lot of coals in there. Oh boy, it is warm in there. I can feel it through my gloves. there we go. There's all our coal and ashes. Now we can just let this stove cool off. Of course, there's a few coals right underneath there, but I think it'll be fine. We're back inside. She's all cooled off. All the pipes are back inside of her. So, final thoughts. What do I think of this WINNERWELL Nomad medium wood stove? I think the quality is good. Once I got all the coals and everything out of it, this top, which is really thick, retained heat for almost 35 minutes. So for almost a half hour, I couldn't really touch this. That's how warm it was. I had to let it set for almost a half hour before I could pack everything up. So if you had this in a tent providing you warmth and you burnt down to just ash and you had no coals left, this thing is still going to put out heat for a good half hour. That impressed me. And I had the door all the way open. There's just air flowing through. You can see I got the stove pipes in there. Nothing really broke. Nothing really went wrong with this stove. It pretty much does what it's advertised to do. It burns wood very efficiently, gets nice and hot. I have no doubt after doing the temperature readings up here on the top that you could cook on this. No doubt at all. You can totally cook on this. It gets plenty hot enough. Only thing is, I'm definitely going to have to get a few accessories to go with it. I wouldn't mind getting another section or two of stovepipe just to kick that up a little higher. Just because I'm a little paranoid about getting any embers on my hot tent. Last thing I want to do is put a hole in my hot tent. So there is that. Other than that, I'm just really impressed. I got to come up with a heat shield to go underneath it. I looked at, they make a heat blanket, specifically WINNERWELL does, for this stove. But I am not going to purchase it because it's almost it's like $69 on Amazon. And some of the reviews were less than stellar on that blanket. So I'm going to look around. I'm going to try to figure something out that will work for me. In the meantime, I got some fat wood here. I'm just going to kind of stick in here just so next time I pull it out, I have fat wood. And you saw how easy it was for me to get a fire going with just a ferro rod. There we go. All right. And I'm going to store it in the box it came in until I need to use it. I'm waiting for some really cold weather, and I will take the hot tent that I got, and we're going to use this stove, the hot tent I got, and we're going to see if I freeze to death. But I want really cold weather and I want snow. So we will see. But other than that, big thumbs up to WINNERWELL. I think this is an excellent product. Full transparency, I bought this with my own money. I have yet to find a sponsor to give me anything. Or a cameraman or a camera woman. I'm telling you, I'm accepting applications. I really am. I could really use the help. Anyway, until next time, I'll see you all later out in the woods.